Good day to everyone. In this video, we'll see why the development team they will reject the bug. The development team, if they feel that the defect it is not considered as a genuine defect, and if they mark the status as rejected, the cause of the rejection may be for many reasons. The testing team they would have misunderstood the requirement and they would have thought that there is a defect in that application. So they would have reported back to the development team that there is a bug. At this point of time, the development team they'll reject the defect report or the bug report. The development team they might reject the bug report because the chances are there that the testing team they might be referring to the old requirements while testing the product. For example, in the first build, the development team they'll give the product for testing, in which the sales link button is there. The test engineer he will do the testing and he will not find any of the defects. And in the second build, the customer he will give a requirement change to the development team wherein he will ask them to remove the sales link button. But the testing team they are not aware of the change. So when the development team gives the new build, obviously they would have removed the sales link button. The test engineer when he looks into the feature, he is referring to the old requirements which has the sales link button. But in the new requirement, it has been removed which the test engineer is not aware of. So he will file the bug report. The development team then they will reply back to testing team saying that refer to the new requirement in which the sales link button has been removed. These are some of the reasons why the development team rejects the defect report or the bug report. Now let us see why the development team they will mark it as duplicate bug when the test engineer he'll send a defect report to them. The test engineer when he finds any of the defect or the bug, he'll send a defect report to the development team and he will also assign a bug report number. Now let's say that he sends a bug report number 20. Now the development team they'll see the bug and they will reply as bug 20. It is the duplicate of bug 10. That is, another test engineer has already sent the bug earlier and it has been fixed. Now let us see how to avoid these duplicate bugs. Let us consider an example here. Let us assume that we have two test engineers, that is test engineer A and test engineer B, who are testing the same module, that is sales module. Now the test engineer A will start testing the module wherein he will enter all the information and when he clicks on the submit button, it is going to the blank page. Now since he has found one of the bug, he will prepare a defect report in which he will explain the defect in detail. Now before he sends it to the development team, he will first log into the server named QA and he will go into the folder called Defect Repository, wherein all the defect report prepared by the test engineers, it will be stored in that repository. Now we'll search for a keyword called sales. Now the system it will start looking inside the folder if there are any defect report which has sales in it. If the search result is no file, then the test engineer A he will first copy paste his defect report in the defect repository and he'll send the defect report to the development team. Now the development team they'll assign a development engineer to solve the defect. Now in the next day, the test engineer B while doing the testing, he will also find the same bug and he will also prepare a bug report. But before he sends it to the development team, he'll first log into the QA and he'll go to the defect repository and then search for the sales keyword. There he will find the report which was earlierly sent by the test engineer A. So it does not send the defect report to the development lead. Now since the test engineer B he searched for in the defect repository for the keyword, it avoided in the duplicate bug report. The test engineer before they conclude that the defect it has been already sent, they must first read the defect report in detail and ascertain whether it is the same bug which he has found or the different one. Chances are there that it might have the same keyword but the bug is different here. Now let's see how to avoid these duplicate bugs. Let us consider an example now. Let us assume that the test engineer A is testing the sales module and finds a defect wherein he enters all the information, and then when he clicks on submit button, it is going to the blank page. Now he prepares a defect report in which he explains the defect. Now before he sends it to the developer, he logs into the server named QA. There he goes into the folder called Defect Repository, which has all the defect reports prepared by the test engineers and sent to the developers. Now he'll search for the keyword sales in the defect repository. Now it starts looking inside the folder if there are any defect report which has sales in it. If the search result is no files, then test engineer A he will report the defect in the defect repository and then sends a defect report to the development team, who will then assign it to some of the development engineer. Now in the next day, the test engineer B he finds the same defect and he also prepares a report. But before he sends it to the development team, he first logs into the QA, and in the defect repository he'll search for the keyword sales, and he finds the report which was earlier sent by the test engineer A. So it does not send the defect to the development lead. Here the test engineers, when they search for a keyword and if they find the similar results for it, then before he concludes that the defect has already been sent, he must first read the defect report and ascertain whether it is the same bug which has been found or not. Chances are there that it might have the same keyword, but it is about the different defect. Next we'll see why or when the developer he will say that we'll postpone the bug or we'll fix it in the next release. Whenever the test engineer he finds a bug during the end of the release period, then the developer he will not be having a time to fix the bug. In such cases, the developer will say that since it is a minor bug, we'll postpone it to the next release, or we may fix it in the next release. And this bug status, it will remain as open only. Next we'll see when the developer he will say that the bug is not reproducible. Let us consider an example here. The test engineer he is testing the sales module, and the test engineer he is testing the application in the Mozilla Firefox browser. When he clicks on the sales link, it is going to the blank page, and he finds this bug and he prepares a defect report and he will send it to the development team. The development lead he will look into the defect report and he will open the application in the Internet Explorer browser. When he clicks on the sales link button, the sales page opens and the application it is working perfectly now. Then what was the problem? Here the test engineer he did not specify in the defect report in which browser he tried to open it. So the application did not work in the test engineer while he testing in the Mozilla Firefox. But when the developer, when he opened in the Internet Explorer, the application is working totally fine. Since the developer is not able to see any of the defect, he'll reply saying that I am not able to find the defect or I am not able to reproduce the defect. Now let's see why we get the non-reproducible defects. It might be because of platform mismatch, or it might be because of improper defect report, or because of data mismatch, or because of build mismatch, or it may be due to inconsistent defects. Thank you for watching our video. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any of our video or updates. Thank you.